Let's bring up the active cases map, Andrew, and talk about this bit. This is the active COVID cases across the country. And the reason you and I want to talk about this afternoon is because it goes to how many cases are actually in the community. And if you look at the overall number, we're talking 90, but a majority of those are in hotel quarantine, Andrew.
Yes, they are. So about 50 of those cases in hotel quarantine and about 27 in the community in Adelaide. So that's 13 active cases outside of that, Kieran, if you think about it. And that is that a situation where your state borders are shut? That's the question. 13 active cases which aren't from hotel quarantine or the Adelaide outbreak in a population of 23 million. What would you have to do to get Annastacia Palaszczuk and Mark McGowan to open their borders? Gladys Berejiklian, she knows she's on a political winner in New South Wales by continually attacking Annastacia Palaszczuk and her border policy. A lot of people want a holiday in Queensland. They've been in New South Wales where they haven't seen a problem with a small number of cases existing. Annastacia Palaszczuk and Mark McGowan, they know they're on a political winner by leaving the border shut, that's for sure. Queensland election tells you that, so does polling. Scott Morrison doesn't want to be seen to be going too far, attacking borders or lockdowns or doing anything to overturn them. He tried hard at the start to talk about a policy of suppression. He's given a few speeches to Parliament where he's talked about Australia's meant to be open, but he hasn't legislated, he hasn't sought to push the issue. And as for Anthony Albanese, well, we know he has 6 of 30 seats in Queensland, his Labor Party, which is abysmal. That's why he too is on the Palaszczuk bandwagon today.
Annastacia Palaszczuk is doing a great job. And one of the things that I won't do, and you've seen Labor oppositions not do, is make partisan political comments. Look, no one wants to see restrictions in place, but restrictions have made Queenslanders safe. I want to be able to travel, and I want Australians to want to travel, and I know Annastacia Palaszczuk does too.
Does it get to a point, Andrew, just before I let you go, where premiers have to stop with the mantra, we're taking the best possible health advice? Because, you know, that's fine to be listening to the chief health officers, get through the crisis, but if they're being so ultra cautious that we can't have borders reopen with 13 cases in the community, outside of Adelaide that is, does there need to be a shift in how they're looking at this, how they're deciding what's what?
Kieran, I've never bought that line about the health advice. I think that what premiers spout is significantly based on the health advice. I also note that these chief medical officers work for those premiers, as indeed the Commonwealth one does for the Prime Minister. So you would discuss with them what direction you want to head down as the leader of a state or indeed the country, and then you would get bureaucratic advice which suits that outcome. That's how the bureaucracy and politics interacts, unless something's so left field that the bureaucrats just don't feel comfortable doing that. So every time a politician gets up and says we're following the health advice, well, you sort of are, but you sort of aren't as far as I'm concerned.